Okay, so I get a lot of junk mail, and mostly I don't look at it because a lot of it is just stupid crap. Like on my Gmail account, I get a lot of Gmail message or sorry, email messages from like porn sites and fake porn sites and stuff like that, and people saying, "Oh, I want to meet you, Glenn. I think you're so wonderful." And I don't even use dating sites or whatever, so I don't really understand. You know, I think they're just fishing to see if they can get me to connect. And then I'll see pictures that'll probably be quite stimulating, but at the same time, those pictures probably contain malicious code within them that can inject stuff onto my computer. Because all you've got to have is the right amount, the right code hidden somewhere in a picture, and your victim probably won't even notice it. It may look like a little bit of a glitch on the picture, where the picture isn't quite right, and that would actually be the code. And that code will usually send you to like a command and control server or something like that, and from there it'll download a Trojan or some kind of malware onto your system. And probably what it would do would start with something that looks innocuous or something that hides from the system, and that thing is then responsible once it's on your system for downloading other stuff that and yeah. So, anyways, this one is I'm not sure what they were what you're going to think about this, but let's take a look here. So we've got a message from James Pegues, I don't know, from FEMS, Fire and Emergency Medical Services. And he's got a dc.gov address. So let's take a look here and let's show more. No. Okay. Uh, let's see if we can see the whole message. View message source. There we go. Okay, so received from blah 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 blah. All right. So it's an Outlook account. That's interesting. Okay. And okay. There's a Hotmail account. Domain, sorry. Mail from dc.gov. Now, I'm not an expert at looking at this kind of information, but if I take my time, I might find something interesting. Okay, still saying dc.gov. Gosh. More dc.gov. Okay, I'm looking for a reply to address. I don't see it. There's only a reply. No. Alright, so I'm not finding the reply to address here, which is a bit surprising. That's interesting. Base 64 encoding. So this stuff is coded, put into code, which is probably to make it difficult to detect it as being phishing. Yeah. All right, I don't see any indication, and I may have missed it, but I don't see any indication that the address, the email address was spoofed, which would mean that they would set up the message so that it looks like it's coming from James, but it actually is coming from somewhere else, and you would find that embedded in the source code here. But I didn't see that. I might have missed it. So it looks like James's account has been hacked. And I did send him an email warning him that I received that message from his account. Let's see here. I saw when I searched for his name, I did actually, interestingly, see an indication of how much he earns, although I don't know if that was actually him or if it was somebody else. So let's take a look at the letter itself. The fact that it's coming from dc.gov, but then when you look down here, your new package, huh? I'm not expecting a package from the government. Date received August 14th. Well, that's interesting because I got this message on August 14th. So how could they have received it and tried to give it to me on the same day they received it unless it was local? It's very unlikely. Let's see. We'll try another delivery within 48 hours. No space. That's a little mistake there. And these are supposed to be links, but they don't work. That by itself is another indication that there's fraud. Okay, so why am I saying that? Because if you hover over this, it shouldn't change to a text editing cursor. It should look like a finger, like that. Okay, now if you go down here, there's nothing at all. You should see down here in the left hand corner on the bottom left hand side, it should show you what website it's going to take you to. Okay, it says don't respond to this message, which would be okay if you saw a no reply at ups.com or something like that up here, not a message from somebody in the Fire and Emergency Medical Services branch of Washington, D.C.'s government. So bad that it's like that. Okay, so it's an unattended mailbox. No, they just don't want you to email the person whose account they've hacked. And it's got a bunch of garbage here that they probably copied from a UPS message. But, you know, it does say UPS, and it's questionable. But, hey, look at this link to a UPS address in the U.S. with a tracking number. But you cannot trust a link, because this is just the text that's being displayed by the coding that's embedded in the letter. So when you get letters that look really nicely formatted and stuff with, you know, even something as simple as bullet points and stuff, there's coding that they have to use to do that. Formatting, all kinds of formatting, okay? So when you see a link like this, that doesn't mean that that's actually where you're going to go. So if you hover over it with the hand and then look in the bottom left corner, you'll see, oh, it goes to requestwelldone.weebly.com. Well, that's kind of bizarre, because that should not be where we're going, right? We shouldn't be looking at that. We should be seeing that it's going to take us to UPS's website that's shown here in the text, but the actual link that's hidden within this text is to there. So I did a little research. I went to virustotal.com and I looked, and none of the websites, none of the engines on here found any problem with requestwelldone.weebly.com. However, Weebly is basically a site where you can make your own website. So it's a hosting site, and they're responsible for, you know, they have code of conduct kind of stuff. So if you're screwing around and doing naughtiness, they'll take you down. So let's go back to the email here. So we know that this is not where we're going. If we go here, this is actually a legitimate website. We know it's illegitimate, first of all, because it ends in ups.com. Come on, go ahead. Take me there. All right, let's give it a minute while it works on that. But let's also copy this link address that's hiding underneath here. And I'm just going to open up another tab and I'm going to show you what happens when you try to go there. Okay, so this is interesting. That website is not coming up. Let's go back here and copy the text. Yeah, if you get emails that are unexpected and you get a link that the text doesn't match what it says you're going to go to, then just copy the actual text that you can see. Yeah, just highlight it and copy. Don't do this. Don't copy link address, okay? Like I did. I just wanted you to see. It takes you to a website that looks like a UPS login. So what they're doing here, now notice password is spelled with a slash through it, which is an indication most likely that this person is located in Europe, where there are languages that have O's with slashes through them. So these hackers are probably in Europe somewhere. But that's an indication that it's not UPS. Okay, what they're trying to do here is that email is a phishing email to get you to enter your email and password so that they can then steal that information to access your UPS account. And you notice here, there's no indication at the bottom of like UPS information, like, support and all that kind of stuff that you would normally see at the bottom. There's no menu at the top either. That's very fishy as well. And so once they get your credentials, different things might happen. They might give you an error saying that your credentials are wrong. And then they'll use your credentials to access UPS. Or they may accept the credentials you give and send you to a fake UPS website, or they may send you to a website that may or may not look like UPS, and it has malware hiding in it that when you visit it, it's a no-click invasion of your computer via the website. So the website installs malware on your computer. Now, worst case scenario, they log you into a fake UPS website and then get you to spend money, okay, and steal your data and infect your computer. So that's bad. And as we can see, this website that we got from the email, the UPS address, isn't even valid, okay? So yeah, that's not good, right? Not even good. Okay, so here's what I did. First, I went to abuse, because this isn't spam, this is phishing, this is crime, okay? Spam is just obnoxious advertising, unsolicited advertising that and so I went in here and I looked through here, and there's nowhere for the average user to complain about this problem, okay? So I have nothing to do with DMCA, and it's not spam. And there's information here about the Communications Decency Act, but no information on how to report that. No editorialization, terms of service. We are not bound by the terms of service to remove all sites that do not comply. We're unable to comply with requests for personal information. If you're a member, if I were a member of the police department or government agency, I could contact Weebly Abuse at squareup.com to file a complaint against this phishing website. But it's not possible. If you need help with your Weebly account, well, I don't have a Weebly account, and I'm not going to. But so what I did is I looked at, well, I can't use any of these other ones, so let's try the spam report page, which just takes you to this form to fill out. So last night, I sent in a complaint to them, gave them the address, and then the nature of the abuse, including the email that they had sent, and I entered my email address and I submitted it. And as you just saw, the phishing website that they're hosting is still online. So they either have not received it because it's Sunday here, or they're not interested in taking down a phishing website. I hope that when I check on this in the coming days, that it'll be gone. If I don't see it gone, I'm certainly going to leave a note in my comment on this particular video. And hopefully Weebly will do the right thing and stop these phishers. So that is pretty much it. There is one more thing I'm going to try to do, and I'm going to try, you know what, I'm going to just try to, that's not it. There it is. Was that it? That must be it. Okay. So I'm going to try to look at the code of this page here. So I'm doing what's called inspect. So that opens up this console that allows me to take a look. And we can see that there's all kinds of stuff inside of here. Themes, image, no, that's not going to help. Let's see, how about uploads? UPS, JPEG, yeah. Now, if I had knew how to hack, I could delete that so they wouldn't even, victims would not even see this. If I knew how to do that kind of stuff, but that's not something I know how to do, and I wouldn't do it anyways. Simply from the perspective of it would be illegal to try to do that, even though this is an illegal phishing website. Okay, so this is all formatting here, and no, it's not all formatting. Hold on a second here. I don't need that. Let's go ahead and make that a bit bigger. So this is not just HTML and CSS, it looks like, but hold on here. Okay, let me just expand this. I don't really need to see that website, so there's the UPS JPEG being loaded up, and the URL for this website. Okay, that's the font it's using. Mutation Observer JavaScript. So this may actually inject, I'm not really sure because I can't see the script itself, but this is possibly going to inject something onto your computer when you go here. I didn't get a warning from my anti-malware program, so I'm not sure, but it's a possibility, or that mutation thing could be just for some other purpose. But we do have, apparently they might have considered doing more, or they might have just stolen this. They might have ripped this code off of the UPS website for logins and just stripped out everything that they didn't want. And that's why I say there's so much of this that's empty, like this stuff. Let's see. Template artifacts, another JavaScript. jQuery, oh boy. So, I'm not an expert at this stuff, but this is certainly, hamburger menu, okay. Well, there's a lot to this, and I'm not going to, see, it has reCAPTCHA here, and yet that's not something that's visible. So they're going to try to take you in as far as they can go. It looks like this is not just simply stealing your credentials. They're going to go beyond stealing your credentials. They may actually use you to log into the UPS website, so they may be actually behind the scenes taking that information and immediately logging you in. So it becomes kind of perhaps a man-in-the-middle attack. Okay, so this is JavaScript here. marketplace. Editmysite.com. What the heck is that? Let's take a look at that real quick. Get rid of that since it's not any use to me anymore. Okay. Oh, forbidden. Okay. This looks like it would be perhaps the original code from Weebly to just show people an example, a simple example for making their own account. But yeah, this is interesting. All right, well, there's a lot more going on here than what we see, so it looks to me like they're going to try to get more than just your credentials. Anyways, I hope that these, yeah, I'm going to mark this as bad. And I've already left a community message here about this so that other people will be aware. Okay. And that's pretty much it. There's really not much more that we can say about this email, but I think I've given you some clues into how you can identify a phishing attack like this. Hopefully you guys haven't fallen victim to this, but it's so very easy. And my basic rule of thumb is look at the email address it's coming from. Does it match the company that that's supposedly contacting you? If there is a link in the email, don't use that link. If you know the company, go directly to that company's website independently by typing it into your browser. Those are two very, very basic things you can do. The only time would ever actually click on a link like this would be if I see that the text on the email actually matches what's shown in the bottom left-hand corner. So I think that's about it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day.